June is the month that really decides what kind of tomato season you are going to have. You either walk into August with baskets full of tomatoes, giving them away to neighbors because you have too many, or you spend the rest of the summer staring at sad plants and wondering what went wrong. And the tricky part is this: most of the damage does not happen all at once. It starts quietly. In June, your tomato plants are under pressure from every direction. The days are getting hotter, the sun is stronger, the soil dries out faster, and at the same time, the plant is going through one of the most important stages of its life. It is moving from just growing leaves and stems into producing flowers and fruit. That means the mistakes you make in June do not just cost you a few tomatoes. They can affect your entire season. And I know this because I have made every single one of these mistakes myself. Not once, not twice. Some of them I repeated for years because I was absolutely sure I was doing the right thing. I blamed the heat, I blamed the rain, I blamed the soil. I even blamed the variety of tomato. But eventually, I realized something uncomfortable. The problem was not the weather. The problem was me. So today, I want to walk you through 5 common June tomato mistakes that can seriously hurt your harvest. And more importantly, I will show you exactly how to fix them. Let's get into it. Mistake number 1, watering at the wrong time of day. This is probably the most common mistake gardeners make in June. Most people water when it is convenient, maybe after work in the evening, maybe in the middle of the day when they notice the plants looking thirsty. And earlier in the season, that might not cause huge problems. In April or May, the weather is cooler, the sun is not as intense, the plants are smaller, so you can get away with a lot more. But in June, watering time matters. If you water in the evening, the soil stays wet overnight. If water gets on the leaves, they stay damp for hours, and that creates perfect conditions for fungal diseases. This is how problems like early blight and leaf spot often begin. At first, you do not see much. Then one morning you walk outside and the lower leaves are yellow, spotted, and dying. It feels like it happened overnight, but usually it started days or even weeks earlier. Midday watering has its own problems too. When you water during the hottest part of the day, a lot of that water evaporates before it ever reaches the roots. And if you are watering from above, you are wetting the leaves at the exact time the plant is already stressed by heat. So what should you do? Water in the morning. The best window is usually between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. That gives the roots time to absorb moisture before the day gets hot. If any water touches the leaves, they dry quickly as the temperature rises, and your plants go into the hardest part of the day already hydrated. This one change alone can make a huge difference. You're not necessarily watering more, you're just watering smarter. Mistake number 2, skipping mulch or using it the wrong way. Mulch is one of those simple gardening habits that sounds boring, but it can completely change how your tomatoes perform in summer. In June, bare soil can get extremely hot. When the sun is beating down on exposed soil all day, the surface temperature can rise dramatically. That heat does not just dry the soil, it also damages the living biology around the roots. Healthy soil is not just dirt. It is full of beneficial fungi, microbes, and tiny organisms that help your tomato plants take up water and nutrients. When the soil gets too hot, that underground system starts to suffer. That is where mulch helps. A good layer of organic mulch keeps the soil cooler, slows down evaporation, protects the roots, and reduces the amount of soil that splashes up onto the leaves during watering or rain. Spread mulch around the plant, but leave a small gap around the main stem. Think of it like a donut shape, not a volcano. Keep the mulch about 2 inches away from the stem, then spread it outward toward the drip line of the plant. A layer of about 2 to 3 inches is usually enough. Straw works great. Shredded leaves work well too. Grass clippings can work if they are dry and used in thin layers. Just avoid piling fresh wood chips tightly around your tomatoes, especially if you are mixing them into the soil, because they can temporarily tie up nitrogen while breaking down. So mulch your tomatoes, but do it with a little breathing room around the stem. Your plants will thank you. Mistake number 3, feeding the wrong nutrients at the wrong time. This one is sneaky because it feels like you are helping the plant. In early spring, tomatoes need nitrogen. Nitrogen helps them grow strong stems and lots of leaves. That leafy growth matters because it builds the structure that will later support flowers and fruit. But by June, your tomato plant is changing priorities. It does not just want to grow leaves anymore. It wants to flower. It wants to set fruit. It wants to move into production mode. And this is where many gardeners accidentally slow everything down. They keep feeding the plant the same high nitrogen fertilizer they used earlier in the season. The result? Beautiful plants. Big plants. Dark green plants. But not many tomatoes. That can be incredibly frustrating because the plant looks healthy, but if you are giving it too much nitrogen, you are basically telling it, keep growing leaves, keep building more green growth. The plant is not confused. It is doing exactly what you are asking it to do. In June, you usually want to shift toward a fertilizer that supports flowering and fruiting. That means less nitrogen and more phosphorus and potassium. Phosphorus helps with root strength and flower development. Potassium helps with water movement, stress resistance, and fruit quality. So instead of using a fertilizer that is very high in nitrogen, look for something more balanced or something designed specifically for tomatoes during the flowering stage. You can also support the plant with seaweed or kelp extract as a gentle liquid feed. Many gardeners use it because it supports flowering and helps plants handle stress better. The main idea is this: spring feeding and summer feeding are not the same thing. In spring, you are building the plant. In June, you are helping it produce. Mistake number 4, ignoring blossom drop. If you have ever seen tomato flowers appear, turn yellow, then dry up and fall off without making fruit, you have experienced blossom drop. And it is one of the most frustrating things in the garden. You finally see flowers, you get excited, and then they just disappear. Many gardeners react in one of 2 ways. Either they panic and start adding fertilizer, spraying things, or cutting parts of the plant, or they shrug and say, well, it must just be the heat. But blossom drop usually has a reason. The first major cause is temperature stress. When daytime temperatures are too high, and especially when nights stay warm too, tomato pollen can become less effective. The flower may open, but pollination does not happen properly. So the plant drops the flower instead of wasting energy on fruit that will not develop. The second cause is inconsistent watering. Tomatoes hate going from bone-dry soil to sudden heavy watering again and again. That stress can cause the plant to drop flowers as a survival response. The third cause is poor pollination. Tomatoes are self-pollinating, but they still need movement. In nature, wind and bees help shake the flowers so pollen moves where it needs to go. But if the air is still, or pollinators are not very active, some flowers may not pollinate well. The good news is that you can help. First, keep your watering consistent. Not soaked, not dry, but steady. Second, use mulch to help the soil stay evenly moist. Third, in the morning, gently shake your tomato cages or tap the flower clusters with your fingers. You do not need to be rough. Just a gentle vibration can help move the pollen. Some gardeners even use an electric toothbrush and touch it near the flower cluster for a second or 2. It sounds strange, but it works surprisingly well. And if you are in a very hot climate, consider giving your plants some afternoon shade. Which brings us to the next mistake. Mistake number 5, treating June sun like spring sun.
Every tomato guide says the same thing. Tomatoes need full sun. And that is true. But full sun in April is not the same as full sun in late June. By June, the sun is stronger. The UV index is higher. The days are longer. The heat lasts for more hours. And your tomato plant is no longer just trying to grow leaves. It is trying to flower, set fruit, and survive stress at the same time. In cooler climates, full sun may still be perfect.
But in hot regions, too much intense afternoon sun can start working against your plants. The plant may not always look burned. It may not dramatically wilt, but it can quietly go into stress mode. Instead of putting energy into fruit, it starts using energy to protect itself. That means slower growth, weaker flowering, more blossom drop, and more vulnerability to pests and disease. A good solution in hot areas is shade cloth. Not total shade. You are not trying to block the sun completely. Tomatoes still need light. What you want is filtered protection during the harshest part of the day, usually from late morning through afternoon.
A 30 to 40% shade cloth can make a big difference in many warm growing regions. In extremely hot areas, gardeners may need more. In cooler northern climates, you may not need it until later in summer, or maybe not at all. The key is to know your climate. If your plants are getting blasted by brutal afternoon sun every day, a little shade can actually increase production, not reduce it. And one important detail, do not wrap the plants tightly with shade cloth. You still need airflow. It is usually better to install it above the plants, so it filters the strongest sunlight while air can still move freely. So let's quickly recap.
Because what you do now decides what your tomato plants look like in July and August. So get outside, check your plants, make 1 or 2 changes today, and you might be surprised how quickly your tomatoes respond. And now I want to hear from you. Where are you growing tomatoes this season? And what is your biggest tomato problem right now? Heat, watering, pests, yellow leaves, or flowers dropping? Drop it in the comments because your climate and your conditions matter. And if this helped you, save it, share it with another gardener, and keep growing.